Here we go.
You know what?
Do 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 do. Hey. What's going on? Hey, Jai. What's up, man?
Yeah, nigga, this angle really got me tricked the fuck out.
Scott, welcome. All right, guys. Welcome. My co-host is working really hard to get the positionings together. That one was blocked by that now. He's really annoyed by these cameras right now, but you guys give us a second and he's gonna figure it out.
I mean, that's just me on my side. God damn. This one
Hey, what's up, Ja? Yeah, we're definitely excited to have you on the show. What's up, man? How you doing? He's always acting. Yes, you are, brother. That's how it's supposed to be. So welcome, everyone. Oh, there. See, that one's perfect now.
better.
Yeah. To another and new episode of CMCT. My name is Choice Skinner. I am your host, and seated next to me, the man with the plan, the only man that can stand against any form of oppression, my brother,
Antonio Dean.
Antonio
Hello,
D.
everybody.
He didn't cheese it up because he's
Well,
focused
I'm
on
like,
getting.
that shit is bugging the hell out of me.
Yeah. One of the things I got to know about my co-host, if there's something that the line isn't right or if things don't seem correct, he gets very perturbed, very annoyed, and he will figure it out, man. That's the one thing I love about this brother. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Another episode of CMCT, Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. We are going to have an amazing show tonight. We have a guest coming in. And this brother I've known for some time. He's doing his thing, making it just like everybody else. We're going to be talking this week primarily tonight, and then also Thursday night we'll be talking hopefully with another guest. We're looking for a female counterpart or a female perspective in regards to what we're talking about tonight. So, with that being said, thank you for joining us tonight. You could be doing anything else. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with us, and you know it's going to be a great show because of that. Don't forget to join us on Thursday as well. This Thursday, we'll be talking pop culture, but we'll also be following up on our subject, which we'll be talking about tonight. Tonight's subject is OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? We want to see about your opinions on this, so definitely chime in with us and make sure you let us know exactly what your thoughts is on that. If you have any questions or anything, once our guest is in and we are interviewing him, you're definitely welcome to ask questions and definitely welcome to chime in as well. We will let you come on in and have some questions and ask anything that you need to ask or make a statement, because sometimes you don't have anything to ask. You just got statements you want to make, right?
Say what you need to say.
Say what
Get it
you
off
need
your
to say.
chest.
If you're wondering what's in my hand, these are called medicine balls, right? That's what they're called. They're Chinese medicine balls. And, they're great for dexterity. They also open up all of the different channels in regards to your chi channels. And
Get your chi together.
yeah, get your chi
Internal
together.
energy.
Yeah, all your pressure points as well in your fingertips and in your hand. So as I've gotten older, I know that I need to use these more in order to keep the flexibility in my hands so my punch doesn't my punch doesn't lag. I don't lose anything on my punch. All right. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully your team won during Super Bowl. If you didn't, if you lost money, man, then that's going to teach you not to gamble. Because I don't.
No, it won't.
Well, let me ask you a question. You go to Vegas. What do you do? Do you like say, okay, I'm going to take this?
I go get
100
drinks.
Just the drinks the drinks are bananas.
That's
The
all I
drinks and
do.
the food are bananas. Like you can eat like a king.
I go get
in
drinks.
Vegas.
I find food. That's about it.
Yeah.
I lived out there for a while though, so
I got a couple of friends that live there consistently. Some that work there as well. They said they wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I don't know about living there.
I don't know about that one.
Well, I don't know. I guess
Vegas gets old fast, man.
it does. It does.
I guess unless maybe you're enjoying the life and shit there.
Acquired taste.
It's just a tourist city.
It is.
Part of
It definitely.
Tourist cities are not enjoyable to live in for too long.
Well, with that being said, again, do you gamble? You don't gamble?
No.
No? You've never said, okay, I'm going to take $100 and that's as much as I'm going to spend and, you know, I'll finish out up?
Nope.
That's kind of what I do. I mean, I do like the thrill a little bit, but I'll never spend more than what I'm willing to lose. And so I usually leave up. It's kind of like all my acting buddies out there, y'all know that when you go and you're on set somewhere, you get per diem. I always came home with money in my pocket. Doesn't matter if it was overseas.
Just saving the per diem.
Yeah, a lot of people will go and you know, spend that money like they partying, man. I'm like,
that's in the military, nigga.
Per diem,
even like $30 or $40 a day per diem, you know.
Yeah,
that shit adds up.
We are giving away a safe.
Yes, we is.
We're giving away a safe, and thank you already to all of those who have bought raffle tickets. It's getting hot in here, man.
Yes, it is.
And we were talking before the show about who's it going to be. Hey, Akono, welcome to the show. And we were saying, like, man, you know, it's going to be, you know, very exciting for the day that we announce it. We will be announcing the winner of the safe in March, and end of this month, February, we segue over to YouTube. We make our transition over to YouTube completely. So
on that day, we're gonna set the safe on fire on video, just to prove to you how durable and you know, sustainable the safe is.
Yeah, so you'll win it. It'll be a little grimy, but you're gonna win it just to still.
Well, no, I'll wipe all the smudge and everything off, but we just want to show y'all what you missed out on.
Right.
We're gonna set it on fire right here on the table.
No doubt, no doubt, because we got a couple of fire extinguishers in here, so we can make it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, you definitely want to get up on those raffle tickets. We got a lot of people in here already who's vying for position to be the one to run home with that safe, man.
It's a good safe.
It is a great safe. It is the EL310. It is a 2-hour fire-resistant home and document safe. And fire resistance, the 2-hour fire resistance means that the internal temperature will reach up to 350 degrees if the safe is in a fire for 2 hours at 1,875 degrees max external temperature. It has easy programming, 4 AA batteries external, will retain your code if batteries die or are changed out. This safe, okay, if you're on YouTube, you get to see how beautiful the safe is. It is a 2-tone safe. It has a nice little digital keypad. Everybody wants to have a good safe in their house. You should have one, you know. Definitely something you definitely want to have. If you are interested in supporting the channel and supporting us, we have a link tree that you can go to. And on the link tree is also different links in which to be able to tip us for the raffle in the safe. So that way you can join and be a part of the okay, yeah, be a part of the raffle here. And if you see here, it says tip for raffle tickets. All right, so the safe is a $750 steel water safe. Make sure you leave your contact information when you put down your tip. And the ticket options are $5 for 1 ticket, $10 for 3 tickets, $20 for 7 tickets, and $50 for 20 tickets. If you are a great supporter of ours and you believe in what we're doing, you can drop $100 and you get 50 tickets and 50 chances to win this safe. Welcome everybody. Wow, we got a lot of people coming in. Okay, what's going on, Emmett? How you doing, Emmett? Quinn, how you doing? All right. Okay. All right, guys. So you definitely want to be somebody who's going to be walking away with the safe, and we will have an on-air raffle, and we will be showing who will win this safe. Definitely. Again, it's a $750 steel water safe. It's brand new. It's not used. It's sitting right here on our counter. It is the BST310H.
What do you think? How do you want to do the raffle? Put all the names And like balloons with helium, and then you shoot them down or something.
That's fun.
Yeah, and whichever one hits the ground first. We just got to take the whole setup outside.
Well, I wouldn't want nobody blaming me for not shooting it fast enough.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. We're figuring it out.
The person with the most letters in their name, maybe their tag will be the heaviest, and that'll be the one that hits the ground first.
Hey, we could always get a pretty girl to come in here and dig her hand in it.
We could do that.
I think that's
Maybe
always the best way. Maybe, see, I know how to make. Hey, what's going on, Nick? How you doing? Jasmine, how you doing? All right, guys. So that is the information on our safe. Pretty soon we're going to be welcoming in our guest tonight. This brother is an actor. He's also a model, and he has his own OnlyFans. And I think that's the interesting thing about what we're going to be doing tonight, talking to someone who actually does OnlyFans. And with that being said, all right, let's go ahead and bring our guest in.
Yeah. Set that up.
All right. We're going to go ahead and bring our guest in. Interview window.
So go to the browser and then just click join.
Go to the browser and click join. And join.
Got him. We're in here.
So,
There he is. What's up, brother?
how y'all doing? What's going on?
We're doing amazing. We're doing amazing up in here, man. I was told today, Akono, if you still listening, this is the Bat Cave. So a lot of people, they always look at it, they see lights in the background, all this stuff going on. You got to have your own little spot. I see you still got your birthday balloons up there.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of days. I'm celebrating the whole month.
As you should.
Well, happy birthday to you, man. I'm very proud of you, of who you are and what you got going on. You've been a tremendous light in my life. We've had some amazing conversations. And you are actually the second guest on CMCT. And I'm honored to have you. We talked for a long time about getting you here on the show, so that way you can give your perspective and talk to the audience and everybody who may have interest in regards to OnlyFans and what it means and what it's all about. But like I was saying before we brought you in, you do a lot more than just being an OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? So can you give us the correct saying of your name? Because I know a lot of people, when they see your Instagram or they see your Twitter or whatever, you know, it could be Jamir or Jamir. Or how do you like to normally have it pronounced?
So my name is pronounced Jamir, but you know, I just changed it to Ja now. So because everybody called me Jamir, so I was like, you know what, let's take the mirror off and just take Ja.
Okay.
It's Jamir. That's my government name.
Right, as a government name. Okay, so we'll just call you Ja. And Ja, when did you first start OnlyFans? Because we're gonna give the definition of what it is, because people have different perspectives of what they consider the OnlyFans. Because you have a lot of different platforms, but your main platform is OnlyFans, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So when did you start?
So I started OnlyFans. I believe I think it was like at the ending of 2020, because of like the pandemic and everything that was going on. But I believe it was like November, December, around that area I started.
Okay, and was it something that you was like, okay, man, you know, I don't know, or was it an easy decision?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I got recommended a lot. Like it wasn't even something that like I was like, you know, I want to do this. Like it was just recommended. It was like makes sense. And I mean, it was the pandemic, so you know, it was kind of hard. Like you know, trying to find a steady income because everything was just being shut down. Like you know, so but starting it, it's kind of funny because starting it, you know, at first like I didn't show my face. It was just like you know, all like body appreciation. And then
Stop there for a second. No, stop there for a second. I like that phrase that you use, and I think a lot of people don't realize that that's a very profound statement that you used, body appreciation. I'm very big on that. I believe that the human body is a beautiful thing. As a photographer and as a director, and as a person who I've been in physique and athleticism pretty much all my life. And even now, in my later years, man, I really appreciate. It doesn't matter male, female, doesn't matter. Somebody that puts their energy into looking good, smelling good, feeling good, dressing, whatever. So I like that you use that. So I'm sorry for interrupting you, but there's going to be things that I think our listeners need to hear because they have a one side view of what OnlyFans is, and they don't understand that it's more than just a sexual thing. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Definitely, I love to point out, when you point it out. But yeah, I started off. It was like I said, it was a body appreciation situation for me. And then, I just kept getting recommended, show your face, show the whole body. Like I said, I didn't prepare for, my platform to get this big. And literally, I think it was like my first or second post, like overnight. 2,000, 20,000 views within 2 nights. Like, it was just going up and up. And it got to the point where, like, my posts started reaching out to my family, my friends' family, like, people I went to school with. Like, it was just everyone overnight. Like, what I didn't want it to be, it turned into. But yeah, along the way of doing, like I said, it wasn't easy at first. Because of course you're thinking about what everybody say, like, people want to think I'm this, I'm that. But I would have to say, like, doing OnlyFans, it's brave people that do it. I say you have to be brave, because you got a black eye, to be honest. Everyone in my family, school, friends saw it, except for my father, and it was like killing me. It was kind of like, yo, like, I know you want to see something, like, I gotta prepare for it. And like months went by, because he's not like a social media guy. And I just told him, I was like, boom, this is what I'm doing now. And so like it was interesting his perspective on it, and it was kind of uplifting too. So like what I say the most was that it wasn't easy at first, but it teaches you, like I said, to really just care about yourself, and knows that support whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah. The thing, you and I had spoke one time, and you had mentioned about this silhouette challenge. Remember when that had dropped and everything? And a lot of people were doing that. See, this is the thing. I think people, they walk the tightrope of sexuality and body appreciation, because everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people were doing the silhouette challenge, right? And so talk a little bit about that and how that worked for you, because that turned into something, no pun intended, but something big for you, right?
So what I'll say is, doing a silhouette challenge, story behind that too. Once again, something that I didn't choose to do. It was literally recommended overnight, and it was a thing where at first it was only females on. Like, the silhouette challenge was literally only for the females.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had a couple of fans tell me, like, they think it'd be dope, they see like a dude do it, like, I do it. Funny thing about that video took 2 hours of moving around, editing off of a 60-second clip, which is the craziest one. And literally, I dropped it like literally at midnight. When I tell you, like, all my platforms, like, my phone was like frozen for like 2 days in a row, just with nothing but notifications on every single platform, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, like Snapchat, everything, my phone. And that's the video I'm talking about, where all of my friends and family seen that. That video is sitting like at 2 million views.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people, like literally a lot of people, have so much to say about the video. I heard a lot of positive things, and of course, you're gonna have like the people that are saying negative things, but I mean that's the yin and yang of life, positive and negative. About the video, I already was a person that traveled a lot. So speaking to other sex workers, as they will call it, and sex workers doesn't have to mean like you're actually having intercourse with anybody else, because my platform is all solo, which, like I said, it's still more body appreciation. But I met a lot of people that do sex work and OnlyFans, and it was like, yo, like, they're the most interesting, like, multi-talented, smart, brave people that like you would literally meet out there. Because everything is about just like, it's just sex. And it's really not. It's really not. Your sexuality and spirituality, they go hand in hand. I say,
Mm.
and being viewed as it goes back to being viewed as doing something that you're not. You just have to really be staying and stern. You have to stand for something. With knowing that your purpose of doing it. Everyone has a different situation of why they're doing OnlyFans. Some people, they don't have a great financial background, or you have some people, they're just trying to use assistance through college, or nursing school. Some doctors that do it. It turned into a thing where a lot of people use it after 2020 as another passive income. You're doing what you love to do. You know what you love to do. You get to travel with doing it. It creates an income without you working a 9 to 5. There's just so many pluses to it that I say. But like I said, as long as you surround yourself, and like I said, it's really, I feel like OnlyFans is really, it's not even about OnlyFans, because OnlyFans itself is a platform. OnlyFans is not sex work. So with OnlyFans, you can actually like sell anything you want. You can sell knowledge, you can sell books, you can sell products, you can sell anything. That's what OnlyFans stands for. So that's, you can do anything. It's not just sex work, but because that's what they program and projected for us to think that OnlyFans means sex, some type of raunchiness. It's not what it is at all. And I feel like with OnlyFans too, it's really about what you want your audience to receive from what you're doing. I think that's the biggest part of what you're doing. It's about at the end of the day, what you're putting out there for people to receive. And the first thing that people hear about my OnlyFans is, oh, you're doing OnlyFans, you're doing this, you're doing that. And when you see, I talk about God a lot. I talk about my spirituality a lot. I bring my spirituality into my sexuality as far as going solo.
So hold on. Let me stop you for a second, because in the '80s, in my era, my era is the mid '80s to the '90s. We had someone like that. Prince was like that. He was very big on both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? He had the spirituality and the sexuality going back and forth. I never look at that as being a bad thing per se, okay? Because I've been with you on your beginning journey of your spirituality, getting very strong in it. Talk to me a little bit about how you have that sometimes. You know what? Let me. I don't want to hog up the interview, because I can. You and I, we can talk, man. We can talk, and we talk about everything. But Antonio, if you before we go to that, yeah, you know what? Talk a little bit about that. Excuse me, I gotta go do something real quick. But go ahead. I'm gonna let Antonio run it.
Sure. So, question that I have is, what sort of impact does a decision like OnlyFans, if any, what sort of impact, if any, does it have on your morality?
It's actually funny that you ask, because since me doing it in 2020, I've actually been consistent as far as doing it consistently. And I actually took the last 6 months off before my last month of doing OnlyFans. I took 6 months off of not doing it because of that exact question right there. As far as my morality, I got to a point where I've been doing solo for so long, and I'm being told, of course, money's being thrown at. You work with this person, you collab with this person, you make that. You used to go here, you used to go there, and I felt like that's where I started doing quality, and the reason why I kept doing it solo. It's not about the sex in general. For it's if you're teaching love, that sex is about love and not lust. That two coming together, going into God. My reason of doing it solo is because honestly, if I was to ever promote sex on there, it would have to be with either my girlfriend, fiance, future wife, whoever. It would have to be with someone that like I can show how to love, like in sex, and not, like I said, it's just the hardcore, everything they show you on TV. As far as like porn, I had to push off. So morality, it helped me because, like I said, people already have a certain view, and I don't know, it feels amazing to be honest. Hear about it, and oh, you're probably doing this. Like I said, you're probably doing this, you're probably doing that. And then you go in there, you see what I'm teaching. It's like wow, it's almost like a trick. Like I feel like OnlyFans is like a trick for me to loop people to find out the truth, about OnlyFans, or find out that what you think it is not. There's multiple diverse ways of giving off the effect that you want to people. So morality, that's to be honest why I kept it solo. Like I said, if I was to ever have a female on my platform, she would be my wife. She would be like my future wife. Like it's committed. Like that's how serious I am. When it comes to sex itself.
So, what sort of impact do you think that would have on your relationship? Sharing your private intimacy on the internet together.
Well, now that would have to go to whoever my future relationship partner is. Obviously, she would have to be very strong, and just not me forcing, but understanding that we all have gifts, and
no doubt.
like gives us gifts, and it's a tool, and I think people get it confused with understanding how to use the tool. Like, no different. You can compare OnlyFans to music. You can compare it in a way where, or you can compare OnlyFans to the internet. What I mean by that is that, social media and the internet nowadays is bad. All this technology is bad. No, it's not. It's a tool. It's a tool to go either find out more negative, or it's a tool to find out more positive. Music. Right. These are literally gifts that God gave us. Music. People say, music bad now. It's all they talking about this and that, everything bad. No, it's not. Music can be used as a tool. Before they started worshiping Satan and drugs and sex and big booty this, big booty that, they was talking about gospel. Once again, music was a tool.
Yeah. Let me interject for a second because we got people chiming in already. Lady Muse says, before I ask this, because this correlates with what you're saying. First off, for all of the listeners out there, let me let you know this next to me is probably one of the biggest book readers I know, and Ja is an amazing book reader. Like, so don't think he's just his body, because the brother is smart. Can you state your age, if you don't mind, for the audience?
I just turned 23 on the 10th.
So 23 years old, reading probably more books than the average person. He gets stacks of books and goes through them. And so that's one of the things, when people say that someone who's on OnlyFans is dense or they're not smart, this brother's very intelligent. But anyway, Lady Muse says, do you think that you're fetishized at all? And also, like, for example, Sarah Bartman happening in, what?
Put your hand like this on.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Sarah Bartman happening in slavery. Now, how much? What?
I can't hear you. The mic is kind of like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what Lady Muse was writing here. Like, for example, Sarah Bartman happening in slavery. How much are you really? Are you drunk tonight, lady? It's not you. How much you really works if the body is supposed to be a temple? Sounds like the ultimate compromise. Okay, so basically, she's asking about. Yeah, she's on one tonight. Basically, she's asking, do you feel like you're being fetishized in regards to correlation of your body being a temple, people looking at you and fetishizing you? I have my statement that I want to make on that, on top of what you're going to say in your answer.
I think basically, like, do you feel any sort of way about not being able to control how people are perceiving what it is that you're doing?
Good roundup.
With your content.
Good roundup.
Regardless of what your intent is.
So, okay, so thank you for wording like that. What I would say is, number one, I'm never worried about being in control, because God's always in control. I'm in control of everything that I've ever done in my life. So, as long as I know that my intention is always at the purest of light, purest of love, purest of energy coming from the direct source, which is our Father, I don't worry about things like that. I don't worry because I'm not putting anything out negative.
Right.
Everything I'm putting out is positive. So, in that regard, I can only attend and only imagine, and only vision people receiving it in the way that I receive it, the positive way. In any other way, like I said, I can't control what other people do. I can't control a whole nation. I can't control nobody. I can control what I do. And I can only control me and what I put out, which is called karma. What you put out is what you get back. So like I said, I try to keep it, strictly that. That's my answer.
Yeah, basically she was summing it up as worth. And one of the things that you and I have talked about in conversation is that what a lot of people don't understand is that, especially for black men and in this country, we have to learn what our worth is because we're not taught it. Like how young girls are at an early age. Every man is not given the same attribute, right, Ja? Every man ain't got the same thing. But at the same time, when people start bringing God into a conversation, I would say, okay, well, why did God make us all so different? If how can I say this without being so terse and so, but with what you have and what you're blessing your audience with, there's probably a lot of other men that ain't got that, right? And that's the truth of it, right? So there's a lot of lonely women out there that, to me, in my opinion, you make it happy, even if they don't get to have a moment with y'all. That's just the real of it.
So, like I said, as far as that, when you feel like that, I really know how to respond. I don't know. There's other ways that, like I said, anything that I'm blessing the eyes with, like I said, is a tool. So what I'm still preaching through there is that we may not have the same tools, the same gifts,
right?
But we still have gifts. We still have tools that
right.
we use sexually. That's what I mean by OnlyFans, just teaching that, it's not about just sexually making a female happy. Because you could be a person that makes a female sexually happy, but mentally not happy, emotionally not happy, spiritually not happy. There's just so much more that that dives into it. When it comes to the totality of the relationship between two, I'm talking about sex, which is what I would preach. So for those men, I'm just showing you what you can do with a gift.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, because it's funny that you mentioned that, because real Jaheem 704 said, "What advice would you give those who want to start making OnlyFans content?" Yeah. His name is Real Jaheem 704, and he said, "What advice would you give to those who want to start making OnlyFans content?"
What I'll say is, stay true to yourself. Don't listen to what people tell you for the content and how you should make it. Like you were just talking about how I'm into books and everything else that we talk about. This is what I'm saying. When you meet these other sex workers, they incorporate their art into their content, where they're still showing their body, but they're showing like art pieces and things that they sculpted in the background. This is what I mean. It's just a platform. I think, to be honest, like a trampoline. I feel like it's a trampoline to show off what you want to show off. If you're blessed with the body that you have, then you can use that and use as well that you're more than just that, and you can incorporate that into your content. So that way, it's not only about sex. So that's what would be my biggest advice. Stay true to why you're doing it in the first place. Stay true to how you want to do it, and stay true, more importantly, if you understand or students have a fan base, which you want them to be most impacted on, which is all the questions that you asked me in the first place.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice.
Yeah. So as far as I always believe in long-term and short-term objectives, or, some people say long-term goals, short-term goals. There were times that you kind of moved away from it. Can you speak on that? Is it something that,
So I feel like everything we're talking about is going back full circle. But mentioning relationships, I honestly started when I was single. When I got into, relationships throughout the 2 years, with females that at the beginning were okay with it. And then throughout, because of I didn't plan on it being this big, and then, once again, it's a big question of what would your spouse think about you having your private area and doing certain things out there for multiple people to see. Um, it became an issue because I knew I was doing it, but once again, the people that I was with, we weren't on the same key of why I was doing it. And most importantly, when I'm with someone, there's no one else that's important to me. So, it got to the point where I was like, you can have my account, you can have the password, like you really see. And I felt like I was trying to prove myself, prove who I was too much. Um, and that's what I had to learn through the time of not doing it. I actually stopped doing it to prove I don't need this. If you think it's because I'm doing it for all the females or because of all the attention or because of all that comes with it, I still am who I am without doing it. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt as though that's what I tried to prove in the inconsistency times of not doing OnlyFans. It's literally just proving like, I don't need to do this. And then trying other things because that's still what I'm about. Um, and then realizing that it wasn't the OnlyFans. So, what was going on. There was an insecurity issue with individuals, which we all have them. We all have to work on. Um, but yeah, that's what I would say was mainly the reason why I was inconsistent, throughout those times of not doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I got a question. So do you plan on having kids? And if so, would you let them do an OnlyFans as their parent?
Can you repeat that?
Do you plan on having kids? If so, would you let them do an OnlyFans as their parent? And then there's also a follow-up question.
So I do plan on having a hat to a legacy behind. Life is like a baton that has to be going. Not far after I let my kids do it. I plan on, by the time I even have kids, they shouldn't even be in a predicament to want to do it, or feel as though they need to do it, or be anywhere around the subject of doing it, because they will be exposed and have all the resources that they need to do literally whatever they want on this earth. Like I said, when it comes to doing OnlyFans, a lot of people have their reasons of why they're doing it or why they started doing it in the first place. And more personally for me, I was going through a drought in the pandemic financially.
Mm-hmm.
Being in LA, moving all the way from Philly, being the only one that I know, on the East Coast, going to the West Coast and only knowing a solo over there, it was a lot going on. So personally for me, that's why I started to do it and I made something out of it. So when it comes to my kids, I don't feel as though they would have a reason to feel as though they need to make something out of OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
They're exposed to too much.
Yeah.
So here's a question, a follow-up question to that answer. According to your position on the utility that is OnlyFans, why is it not an absolute yes that they be in a position to or have a reason to use OnlyFans for anything at all? What exactly is it that comes to your mind first that says, I don't want them to have to use OnlyFans, when, in contrast, you said that they could use it, that anyone right now could use OnlyFans for anything?
Sure.
What is it that what implications go off in your mind when you think about your child using OnlyFans?
So I actually reword that then. I would love my children to do anything they want to do. Honestly, as long as they make them happy. The point that I was trying to get to is that, as far as their happiness, my sole mission as a father with kids coming into this earth is showing them that a lot of things on this earth that they do. There's like a variety of it. So if it comes down to them actually wanting to do OnlyFans, like I said, on two occasions. One, I'll be happy, whatever they want to do that makes them happy. And two, if they want to express something off of doing OnlyFans, Dad, I want to express this, I want to do that. Well, I mean, at the time on OnlyFans, you can do whatever you want. But how I feel about it, I won't feel no way. If you're expressing anything that's positive through doing OnlyFans, and like I said, OnlyFans is a platform. But we're talking more specifically about sex work, because there's a real difference between the two. If they want to do that and show something else, while doing it, I would not have a problem with it as long as they're teaching something positive. Um, so just staying on my word as far as the OnlyFans and perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I feel as far as it.
Mm-hmm.
To what extent of them exposing them their physical self would you be comfortable with?
I don't know how deep you guys want to get. Let's talk about.
Oh, go in.
That's because a lot of people, they use the exposing or for people to see where we come from and where there's still people at right now. They walk around naked. It's not a shameful act. You can go to places right now in Africa where they're walking, they still go about this naked, women and females, children.
Don't you think?
Only thing over here is it made provocative.
Well,
It's a shame.
don't you
Once
think?
again, like, yeah, our bodies, everything about it is God gifted. Why are we hiding?
Well, so don't you think there's a difference between walking around naked and going about your daily, activities naked, and then the actual act of sex, which is a lot more private in general, especially not in front of children. You wouldn't. I imagine that over in Africa, so to speak, to use your example, which is an entire continent, not a small country. Just so people know, let's not get that confused. It's a vast place. But wouldn't you imagine that in those places, anywhere in the world, where people are going about their daily activities in the nude or barely dressed at all, that they're not being intimate, sexually intimate, full-on intercourse in front of children, as if it's that natural? The people who are living the most natural, do you think that they're engaging in intercourse in front of children in public places?
Now, one, if we're talking about OnlyFans is not public.
Well, I'm talking about your example, the way that you just justified the that entire scenario.
The shameful act of love. See, I feel as though when we think about sex, we already have a connotation, a negative thought to it. When sex is supposed to be about, once again, love, not lust. So, if we're talking about dinner, expressing love is not something that should be hidden because love comes in all forms. And then two, as far as OnlyFans, now like I said, I myself don't promote having sexual acts on my OnlyFans because it's not with one and only one female. I'm not doing that. Now that doesn't show love. But as far as me still being solo and having a perspective of a couple doing it on there, like I said, they're expressing love in that. I mean, what's the difference between that and almost the movies that we're watching in perspective where they have sex scenes in there. The only thing that's just not shown is the clothes. But I mean, if we're talking about kids, I mean, we've all been there. Our parents did like this, or our eyes and the sex scene came on, and we knew what was going on. So,
Some parents didn't.
Well, I'm talking about on a deeper psychological level. For example, would you have, if you had a 5-year-old son or daughter, would you have sex with your wife in front of them openly, just in the living room?
No.
So what's to stop them from gaining access to any of your interactions on your OnlyFans, especially when they end up in, say, middle school or high school?
Are you speaking pretty much his kids or just kids in general?
I'm just saying in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm speaking to you because I want to know how does what would be your overall stance on that?
My overall stance, and we're talking about the overall totality in all aspects of life right now. Let's be honest, kids in general know what sex is, watched it,
Sure.
and if not, tried to experience it before the age mostly of 13, 14, especially in today's society.
Sure.
So now what I'm saying as far as the impact that I want to have on behind what I'm doing is already out there and is already exposed. and it was out there and exposed way before I even came into the picture of doing what I'm doing now. The only thing that I can do, as far as what's been out there and was taught to think, and as far as the impact that I want to have, it showed that what's already been out there is not the truth. That's the only thing I can honestly do in this situation, as far as if we're talking about kids being able to see what I'm putting out there. At least it's anything that's lustful, anything that's negative, anything to steer their mind wrong direction that's not God. That's the only thing I can honestly say. But like I said, we're being totally honest. They already have access to resources that's teaching other things for sex.
So psychologically, because I imagine you're not the only OnlyFans practitioner who either has children or wants to have children. Do you think that there's a difference between seeing, say, Pornhub and then maybe finding your parents on Pornhub? Especially because we're not talking about mature adults. We're saying, because I'm leading up into an even bigger question, but we're talking about your own children, because you did say that you would like to have children, coupled with you would potentially involve yourself in lustful acts on OnlyFans with your wife, lustful or loving, either way, but intimate, physically intimate, right? I'm doing my best not to avoid all that has been said, and to keep it all within the realm of the reality that you're describing, that you have subscribed to.
Cool. So what I would say far as that is, you say psychologically, I speak in all aspects of life. So it's deeper than just OnlyFans and this sexual part, the affectionate part, the intimacy part. It's a lot that still goes into it. If we're coming from the standpoint of how I feel because of what they might see me do later on, the difference is I'm not ashamed, because like I said, my intention behind it, that's really what it comes down to. Do what we do. There's millions of adults out there that have done things that they're not proud of doing. And I'm not going to be one of them. I can't say that I'm not proud of doing this, because I know that along with what's being said about OnlyFans, I know my fan base. And I know my fan base that tells me that I'm helping heal them. I'm healing them through the education that I'm giving about what I'm doing. I'm healing them through the truth about what I'm doing and what they're seeing. And the difference is, see, they're old enough to understand it. My kids are not going to be old enough to understand it at the time of their kids. But they will when it's time for them to understand it. And I think the biggest difference is that I won't be ashamed, because like I said, it all is going to come back in full circle of what I was putting out there to know the truth. My children will know the truth about what I'm doing, and it was nothing negative. So you have, and like I said, we're coming down for our OnlyFans in my future. Like I said, there's a lot of adults out there, a lot of parents that, you know, they've done stuff that they're not proud of doing, that was negative, or for whatever. I think that through my journey, through my life mission, you know, and what I'm doing, I feel like it's something that anybody, if it's my kids, anybody's adults, I mean, I'm already cool right now at the age of 23. I'm already affected live before my offspring already even got here. So if we're talking about that, that's the biggest thing for me, is my kids really speak, you know, the journey of what I went through, why I went through it, and adversity. Life is really 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. So that's what I would feel my kids would gain the most from seeing whatever that they see. They'll have full knowledge on.
Okay.
So we got a question that says, why put yourself in the situation to even have to deal with or explain such a scenario to your children? How do you know when they will be able to see it at all, if ever? And it's a private act. not for your children to see in general as humans, do you find that embarrassing?
So, do I find it embarrassing for myself, or do I find it embarrassing for my children?
Between you and your children.
Well, I think there has to be a clarification. He was very specific on what his OnlyFans focuses on. He doesn't do intercourse. So,
Well,
I guess
he also said that he would potentially with a woman who would be strong enough
that he
his
loves,
words, right.
that he loves.
But it's still that's between him, his woman, and his children.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a and we're talking about scenarios that are not common
Yeah.
at this point, right?
Well,
Hold on. So let me
Go ahead.
expound on that. And the two scenarios, because I'm doing my best to stick within the realms of the reality that you said you subscribe to,
mm-hmm.
right? So the two scenarios that come to mind based on those constraints are: what would be the difference between your children, you just in your household, you and your wife making love, and maybe it's just in the living room and the kids are watching TV. What's the difference between maybe a scenario like that and then them finding out that you have OnlyFans through some other kids at school, and maybe you guys recorded a love-making session, but you have no power over how other people will take that, number one. Number two, how they'll interpret it and deliver their thoughts on that interpretation or assert their interpretation on your children. And then your children have to come back to you. These are just what-if scenarios, but it's 100% based on the reality that you said that you subscribe to. So what would be the difference between those two things?
The one thing that I love about talking about all aspects of life is specifically in situations we're talking about what if. Because if we're doing what ifs, then you have to acknowledge all possible outcomes. What I mean for is that, so now we're talking about if my kids were around kids and they were seeing it and it was to show them. Well, one step ahead of it. I don't want my kids. I don't want my kids to be growing up in a certain type of environment.
Right.
When it comes to educational wise, when it comes to spiritual wise, when it comes to literally almost everything there is to be learned, there's programs, there's certain types of schools for that. Which, like I said, through everything I'm doing, that'll be my first concern with having kids, making sure that they have the utmost tightest, education in general, just about life, books, about how life works, and that from a very age. I can only say that because that's how I was raised. I was raised reading The Art of War, 48 Laws. I can go on and on about how I was raised, since I was young. But there was truth that was given to me at a young age. So automatically, I thought differently. I act differently. I didn't care what my friends said. I never followed the trends. I was never that as a kid because of being exposed to truth early, which is what I would do to my kids. So we're talking about a what-if scenario. I don't think that would be in that type of scenario, just solely based off of the environment that I have in number one. Two, me already telling them the truth. They're at a certain age of understanding, certain things, or whatever that comfortable were talking to me about. But I would kind of already have that, tight on lock before it's a situation they could find out our house before coming in the house.
Brandon Heitkamp added to that. He said, open communication solves a lot of stress. I know people personally who they've told me that their parents literally had sex in front of them or in the bed while they were in the bed. When it comes to...
Did they think that the child was asleep? Was it the kid's here, just scoot them over, let's have sex?
So many different scenarios, bro. It's, we can talk...
And I want to be clear. It sounds like I'm trying to insinuate something.
No, not at all. Not at all. You're just giving the because
I'm saying that because I see that you guys are answering more so to what the potential negative effects would be. I'm not asking to get any specific answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for what is it that you see specifically happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, to answer your question, I think that, the open communication, I think that No, correct. And like I said, no, definitely. I'm glad that these questions are being asked because I'm giving answers that just
Yeah, no, our DMs are lighting up. So
That's good. I mean, we got someone who says it seems kind of like a handy under the blanket with the kid in the room. If you ask
a
them,
what?
a handy like a hand job under the blanket with the kid in the room. And then one of the questions is this kind of like a do as I say, not as I do
No, he didn't say
situation?
that at all. He was like, if his kids, yeah.
I already stated that. I mean, whoever thinks that, then they not listening.
And they're probably coming in late too, because sometimes our listeners will come in late. No, not at all. A listener. He basically said if they can do whatever they want to do, they would come to him and he would tell them, hey, if that's something you want to do. And like I said, I want to reiterate that people look at OnlyFans as something that's so hardcore. There's a lot of celebrities on OnlyFans.
Right.
A lot of celebrities. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people saw it as means of making money. Who was the girl that was on OnlyFans and sold her bathwater?
I'm sure there were plenty.
She sold her
They
bathwater
feed
on
pictures,
OnlyFans.
underwear, all of that shit.
Yeah.
Socks, nigga.
No,
You
but
know what I'm saying?
please ask more because they're lighting up. So
So I mean, we just have a statement. It says life is completely different from how we were raised and when we were raised. Things that weren't cool then, now to kids, and are different now. Things that weren't cool then may be cool now to kids or different people in general.
mm-hmm.
It says a lot of those things are weird now from when we were growing up, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if I was a parent, I wouldn't have sex in the room with my kids. I mean,
I wouldn't either, but so to that, because I want to stick to exactly what you're saying. I don't want to pull anything out of the air specifically.
hold on, real quick. I gotta add this. Brandon Highcamp said, if the kid gets mad, remind them that the money made from that account fed them. Ha 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 ha. You damn right.
Yeah, I can understand and agree with that.
But go ahead, brother.
But that also goes into how exactly are you presenting it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a way to do just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
What the outcome is, I guess I'm speaking about intent, right? There's a way to do a little bit of everything, regardless of how shitty or uncharted the territory is. There is a specific way or a specific type of intent and care. Nearly everything is to be handled with some type of care, is what I'm getting at.
Decorum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your deportment has to be pretty specific for just about everything we do in life, right? So the next question that I would have based on what you just said, what is it that your kids would need to know? You said that there's a certain way that there's a certain way that their mind would be set up based on, or a certain way that their mind would be set up based on how you raised them, so that this wouldn't exactly affect them the way that most people would think. What exactly is it that they would know and understand? What is it that you would be teaching them?
The first thing that came to my mind, well, number one, I would literally be, me and my wife have kids. We will be the walking example. That's number one. As far as what I would want to teach my kids about the subject of sex and intimacy and all like that. Me and my wife together will automatically, that has to be number one. We'll be the walking example of what love actually is. Because in today's society, they don't teach us to be,
Right.
in love with them, be a couple. Like how back in the day it was. Now it's teaching, I'm single this, I don't need a man for this, I don't need no chick for this.
Absolutely.
We talk ego. That's number two. Something that my kids would definitely be aware about is understanding their ego, and how detrimental that can be to their life mission of why they're on this earth in the first place. That's two. Three. If we're still talking about OnlyFans, sex in general, like I said, like I don't know how much more to teach. Other than we're not getting too into detail, but I don't know how other examples I would need, scenarios I would need, other than the fact that me and my wife, number one, would be the biggest example.
So you're very much old school in your thinking. And it's not just, I mean, what? Okay, look, let's get off the kids for a bit. We'll get back on it if we have to, because I know you got a lot of people asking questions about that. But what exactly, it's one thing for someone to give you the idea of like, yo, you should do OnlyFans, because I got people who joke about it and stuff all the time, right? And I like that you said that a person that does it is brave, because I firmly believe that. Like even with us starting this show, a lot of people were like, you guys, man, that's great that you're doing it, because you have to be brave to embark on anything. Doesn't matter what it is, right?
And I think cut you off real quick, but I just had to point on the fact of when you mentioned celebrities going, it's not just celebrities and not just everyday regular people like me that's going. It's celebrities, people like me, doctors, there's nurses, there's lawyers, there's so many people in this world right now.
There's people doing it.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is that people, they stigmatize certain things. But my question is personally to you, even though you got the advice from others, what in yourself made you say, you know what? Yeah, I should do it. Now, this can be as deep as you need to go. This could be as transparent as you need to be, because I know you got a lot of, look, I mean, you still got people coming in. They're your audience members. These are people who have seen your photos. They have been to your page, or they're part of your Twitter, or they're part of your Twitter. They're part of your, whatever platform you on, they know you, right? So what made you say, you know what? Yeah, or did you always know, like once it was told to you, you were like, yeah, you know what, I could do that. What, yeah.
I'll be honest, like I said, because I keep mentioning 2020 and the pandemic. What made me say yeah, just logically, it kind of just made sense. Like, mind you, when I started, I was 19.
Wow.
I was 4 or 20. I was 20 when I started. Financially, I have and this is just still outside of OnlyFans. I have so much projects that I want to work on that cost money to fund. I'm an entrepreneur believer at heart. I have so many businesses I wanted to start that cost more than what a 9 to 5 would ever pay me, up front. Like it would take away 9 to 5 not only would not pay me the money that I need to fund what I want to fund, but it'll also take hours away from my creative, thinking when it comes to the things that I want to fund. So I would say the big yes for me was just like money, like financially, and to not get it confused, I don't pray to money. I don't like money is my number.
Right.
I don't put money on a pedestal. I just don't like all the other tools that I've mentioned. Money is a tool to create, freedom. Which that's all I really cared about. So when I say my yes was because of financially and just the freedom of time. That was just the two biggest things for me. Where I was like, I have to, definitely have to.
Okay, hold on one second. We got somebody named Kevy. Is it Kevy Steele? You said this is a weak ass interview. First off, how you gonna make it better? What's going on, Jonathan Dominique? And then number 2, you said you got some questions. Bring them on in. We're ready to hear. I mean, we got somebody here who's keeping it very real and very transparent. What do you think is going to make it a strong interview? Okay, so thank you for what you had just said. Absolutely. I was leaning more towards physically. What made you think that? Because anybody feel like they sexy, right? But what made you think personally that I can do this?
Like, how did you get the nerve?
You said like how did I get the what?
How did you build up the nerve?
Oh, we keep it transparent. I was bold ever since high school. I truly know that I'm blessed, like from head to toe.
There you go.
When it came to females in high school, they let me know. A lot of my recommendations came from females.
Right.
I don't. For me, the physical plane of like I can do this. My number one audience was recommended that I do it. So it was just recommended at all time high. I was like, it wasn't even a matter. When I made the choice, my choice was based off of morality, like how I was going to feel after doing it. But as far as like actually doing it in the physical plane, like I've never had a doubt. That's what I meant by it only made sense logically, how financially it worked out. But yeah, far as my bonus, I've always, I never compare myself to. Not only with just being, a lot of people are beautiful and still think that they are beneath, other people because they don't have this status or they don't have this materialistic thing, or have that materialistic thing. So it's not just because I feel as though I'm blessed, but it's also, like I said, because I truly did not compare myself to any other dude that was out there that was on at the time, any other dude that had 100 or 2,000, followers and stuff like that, because he's doing stuff like that. I genuinely, I just stayed in my own.
Yeah, thank you. And listen, man, there's a lot of guys out there. This is something that I say all the time in conversation. Most men, right, would love to be porn stars, number one, or rappers. Then, number two, most women would love to be strippers. And this is something that I've learned. And so when you have the opportunity, mind you, I ain't gonna lie, if I had what you had, as broke as I fucking am right now in life, I'd be OnlyFansing my ass off. I don't give a fuck what anybody says or listening right now. Let me explain something to you guys, the audience. And this person, Kevin M. Still must know you because he's coming in or she's coming in with some Kevy, it must be a chick. Is he currently in a relationship? If so, how does his partner deal with him doing OnlyFans? Do he know Sudian B from Philly? Okay, you must know him. You should just be straight up and be honest about knowing him. And let's go in. Let's go in because the thing is we keep it huh?
This is an adult show.
This is an adult show,
like an adult.
And you're a little late on it because he did mention in regards to how he felt about relationships and what happened with one that he had. So he mentioned that. So if it's you, then you know that you don't have him no more. How about that? So, listen, man. We got 23 more minutes. Right, we're gonna be talking. No, 50. Oh shit. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
Or 48.
48. Yeah, because we gotta. Yeah. But let's get back to your side because my side is on fire a little bit. And
So we got someone says you can't help what kind of children will watch. What even says even the president's kids will watch porn. You can't determine what kids your children will be around. Says if his audience says jump out of a plane for $1 million without a parachute, will he do it? Based on his logic. Says truth is everything can be a poison. Just depends on the dose. All of this sounds like a double-edged sword. Only legacy he's left so far is swinging his dick around.
Wow. Okay. So we getting it on both ends, huh?
It says, if it provides for your family and can help educate or teach people and grow people, that's amazing. Life should be shared. Same with growth. It should be shared, not sheltered. Says, correct, single everything. Just watch commercials. TV doesn't talk about families anymore.
Well, let's take it bit by bit. Let's get the most provocative stuff. Somebody said all he leaves in his legacy is him swinging his dick around. Can you swing your dick around, whoever it is? Is it? Oh, okay. Well, she ain't got one to swing.
No, she doesn't.
But, this is the thing, man. It's funny how I remember when Vanessa Williams, I don't know, she may be, if you go back and look at Vanessa Williams back in the 80s was Miss America, okay? And some photos came out that she had did before she became Miss America. And it was this huge scandal. Oh, my God, how could she, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, when you first off, when you looked at the photos, she was phenomenal and amazing. I mean, she looked, my mom still owns those penthouses. She went out and bought them. Okay, so when I had to block Kevy Still. Kevy Still was a little off. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was a little. Yeah. He was like, yeah, he's talking crazy. He was like, you sound gay as hell. Talking about, grown ass man. It's like, yeah, you need to go somewhere. So I had to block him. It's a thing of if you're asking a question, ask a question in the comment section. But anyway, back to Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams was you know, a very talented woman, beautiful and talented. You know, she's raised her own kids and stuff like that. And that was always the question that people had asked when the magazine came out. What are your kids going to do when they finally see this and blah blah blah? Man, all her kids are highly successful.
She also had a lot of money.
Well, not at that time.
Well,
Not at that time.
we're saying
She did marry to money,
Their
though.
reality is different.
Yeah,
than the average person.
she did. Well, you know, she did marry to money. Like all the men that she
But
ended up
I'm
married.
saying their reality is completely different.
Yeah.
To the average person's. Their psychology still works the same, but we get into an area of that's pretty uncharted, as far as humans go. Because this is, you know, where we've become a lot less conservative over the years as humans, right? I would say this definitely goes into that barrel of uncharted territory psychologically, right? And so to that, because you said earlier you would be the example, you and your wife would be the example for your children of how to navigate potential. You know, whatever potential emotions might arise from this, right? How exactly would you be the example if this isn't something that you've experienced?
If you did experience it?
If this is not something, which clearly this is not something that you would have experienced with your parents so far, or as a child, excuse me, what advice would you be offering them? How exactly would you guide them through this? If it was necessary at all, maybe it wouldn't affect them at all. But if it did,
Like if it affected my children that I'm doing or had done OnlyFans?
well, that whatever potential anything that you may or may not have done on OnlyFans.
Like I said, I mean, life is really about, you know, trials and tribulations, trials and errors, you know, and you can get knocked down. Because you box, you already know, like, you know, you can get knocked down. Sometimes you get knocked down, you know, it's time to get back up. And like I said, as far as, to be honest, your intention on why you do what you do. I feel like, you know, you always want to pinpoint on what it is someone is doing more than the reasons of why they are doing what they're doing. The reasons why is what matters the most with anything in life. So, and if they need help, you understand that their kids. So, you know, it's kind of hard to like, you know, really stay on this topic for us, what I would do for us kids, because I gave my basic answers. I feel kids, they will learn, they will grow, they will evolve. And the only thing I can do is just steer them in the right direction while they're growing, rather than growing sideways and go, that's also something, you know, like not true. Far as it, you know, affecting, if the possibility was that it affected them in a negative way, no different than the people that's already out there that's being affected in a different way. I feel though my intention of doing this is to give as much knowledge and truth as possible so people can be more clear on the topic. So the only thing I would change for my children is that I'm doing this for people that I don't even know. So my intentions and my, you know, passion would be even more for my kids. You know, like I would spend more time with this. You know, I'm only on this call for, you know, an hour or so.
Right.
My kid would be with me, you know, going to sleep.
For a lifetime.
Like, you know, so that's.
Yeah, Brandon Heitkamp said to the haters, it's easy to throw shade at a person being honest, but you forget to mention that you yourself are watching porn. So let's not throw stones at and be hypocritical. He sounds like a great parent who has an unorthodox job. I guess he's talking about for the future.
Yeah, as far as his interaction. Well, to that, is there a difference between watching porn in secret and sitting down and saying hey to your kids, maybe sitting down and watching porn with your kids?
Well, I've met people who've done that.
That's what I'm saying. We're getting into uncharted territory, right? That's why I'm not treating those things as exceptions. I'm treating them as a part of the reality, right?
Exactly. I feel like I would have to say to butt in on that. I would have to say that goes along with education, just knowing the truth on what we're talking about. Because the ones that's asking these questions are the ones are the people that are doing it behind locked doors, behind in the shame and whatever their sexuality is, but it being in shame. I truly feel it's because they're not educated on what they're watching, on why they're watching. I mean, if we're getting deep into it, a lot of us either still watch or have watched porn from some type of trauma. Some type of
Mm.
porn we understand is if we want to, I can't speak for women now, but I can speak for men. And I can speak that for most men that watch porn or have a porn addiction because I can attest, I had a porn addiction until I started doing OnlyFans, which is the funny part. Because my healing process, I had to learn, or anything spiritually, I had to learn why it was that I was watching porn. And that's because something problem-wise at a young age, to where as though porn was an outlet to express what I was going through. But once again, this is just knowledge on the subject that I'm talking about. That if you don't have this knowledge on the subject, then that's the issue. Well, that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
promote.
So that honesty venerated you.
Yeah.
That honesty venerated you, essentially, from whatever sexual trauma you had faced. Okay.
Correct. As far as people that watch porn in private or have an addiction to it, is literally based. People use it as an outlet, and like I said, it's a tool. It's a tool. You can use it to do whatever. You can use it to do bad. You outlet. You can use it to teach. You can use it to promote love. You can use
Wow.
it to do
And
whatever you want.
let me stop you there because it's funny. It's funny you say that because first off, I don't believe in porn addiction. I don't believe in sexual addiction, but we're going to get back into that. Brandon Heitkamp said, I think sometimes watching porn with kids can be constructive with a parent who wants to educate their kid on what porn is and what sex is with a partner is, not for enjoyment but education. So that's kind of what you're saying. So you said it's a thing of people using it for in the right way. I mean, they show this stuff in public schools now. With permission and without permission. I think a lot of times what people don't understand is that, especially with this country, we're quick to show violence, but our kids are so handicapped sexually. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so that's why, when I have conversations and I speak with brothers and they go, I had an addiction. I don't believe in porn addiction. I don't believe in sexual addiction because some of us in our personalities are very sexual beings. And this is whether or not you were touched as a child, because I can speak that directly. I've met people who were never molested, never touched, and they had strong libidos. They were very sexual beings, maybe a higher testosterone, estrogen level, and they were just very sexual beings. And so, some people consider it, based on horoscopes. Listen, I'm a firm believer of, God make us all different, and some of us have different circumstances and different purposes. Right. You know what I mean? So, a woman should be happy if she got a man that can't keep his hands off of her, and a man should be happy if he got a woman that can't keep her fucking hands off of him. You should be ecstatic if because that's what a partnership between, a sexual partnership is all about. It's about pleasing each other, man. Right. That's biblical.
And two, what people don't know, that just another reason why, I couldn't promote sex on my OnlyFans without it being with only one female is because a lot of people don't even know that sex itself is an energy transfer.
Mm-hmm.
It literally
Absolutely.
is. Meaning, so that if you, like, in the porn industry, it's crazy. All of those people they having sex with, you're taking in all those people's energies and all their vibrations, everything. Like, people don't even notice when you have sex. I can literally say, how many times you had sex with a female and afterwards you got all the energy in the world, you feel happy. Or sometimes afterwards you feel drained, you feel like, you feel icky. Yeah, that's transfer. It's literally an energy transfer. Once again, knowledge on the subject. Like, look, this is what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm saying too. Like, people don't even know that. So I feel as though if more people would knew why they go through what they go through, they wouldn't do certain things. And so therefore, for men, I feel as though for most men knew that every female that you're having intercourse with, you're literally taking on everything in her and you're spreading it onto you, and vice versa,
Right.
But that's when people, start to go crazy in their head or start to wonder, why am I like this going like this? Why is this happening? Why is this? Why? And it's because it's a real life transfer. And it's a transfer, and the more people you do it with, obviously, it's unhealthy. And that goes down to one night stands, people you just met. Like, you don't know that person, like, you just having sex with them. You taking in a whole lot now that you don't even know about, that you got to still try to figure out and sort through your head. This is what I will also teach to my kids too. I mean, as a kid, that sounds pretty scary. That sounds scary as hell. So I would definitely say to kids to explain it.
Well, be
That'd be
careful that
interesting
you don't
psychology
that you don't terrify them.
where
Scott,
you don't demonize sex.
right,
in a
right.
sense.
Scott is in. Scott, because I knew he's going to be in. He said, when you watch, oh God, when you watch Open. Okay, come on, Scott. You got to write better. When you watch Open, 97% of the time, at least one of them are at their bottom. Who are you speaking about, huh?
He meant porn.
Oh, when you watch porn, okay, when you watch porn, 97% of the time, at least one of them are at their bottom. Do you believe that, Ja?
If you watch porn 97% of the time, that 1% what? I didn't hear
That at least if you watch porn 90%, 97% of the time, at least one of them are at their bottom. And I think he's talking about the person in porn that's performing the porn. Again, Scott, his platform is not intercourse
Not
based.
predominantly, yeah.
It honestly, this is my boy, and I follow him on Twitter. I don't follow him on OnlyFans, right? But real quick, I always tell Ja, hey man, I like a lot of his book stuff and everything, and even I'll go as far as giving a like to a shirtless shot or whatever. But when the meat come out, I'm like, hey, I can't share that. But at the same time, it's always artistic on what you've done for anything that I've seen. So I think a lot of people are not really getting that there's different levels. That's why I loved when you said appreciation. I loved when you said that because because a lot of people get it twisted. I mean, look, man, what's his name? Soulja Boy got a damn OnlyFans.
I don't even want to know.
Soulja Boy, Chris Brown had one. Trey Songz had one.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
They all made one at some point.
Yeah, and it's like they putting that stuff out, man. It's like they're making their fans happy. Thus, OnlyFans. Because if you're not a fan, why are you watching?
Right. I mean, but typically too, I think it's something to say. We do our best to equate a celebrity's decision with the average person's decision.
Yeah, doesn't make
A little unequivocal.
That right there is what I mean the most on, I gotta keep emphasizing tool. That's what I mean the most. The celebrities, they have hands on the most valuable tools, and they know they have the influence. So that's why, as an influencer, as a model, as whatever you want to put a title on me as, but as an influencer, my job is to influence. That's what celebrities do. And like I said, as far as the music and anything else, tying into the OnlyFans, I mean, they're talking about the stuff that they do in the bedroom in their verses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we repeat the verses. We repeat the verse and it's a vibe. We match to it. And then we want to go do what they say they doing.
That's a good
I
idea.
just up the chick as my Gucci flip flops. What's the difference in having almost 1 million people saying that, and now trying to buy Gucci flip flops to go have sex with a female and say they did it, and me going OnlyFans? But like I said, it's never being totally honest. The reason why people can't fully understand this is because there's stuff in their root chakra. And the root chakra, that's where all that is it's crazy. It's like I said.
We got a couple here. It says, what if your partner did OnlyFans as well, and would you be okay sharing that person with the rest of the world if they had their own OnlyFans? and didn't want to do a joint one with you?
Didn't or did want to do a joint one?
Didn't want to do a joint one. Like they had their own separate OnlyFans and did whatever they wanted to do on there.
These if scenarios, man, it's just like, cause I got an if too, but like, cause that literally contradicts that if. But so, okay, if that was a scenario and a person that I was dating had an OnlyFans and I didn't know what they was promoting or doing and he didn't want to do OnlyFans with me, well, one, they wouldn't be the person I'm dating because once again, that goes against what I was.
I mean, and that's the answer.
Yeah, or two. Listen, you can have it, but as long as you're promoting the same thing that I'm promoting, then I can still understand that's the only other if. But
right.
If not, I wouldn't be with a person that's promoting something I'm not promoting.
So as with anything else, you know, you have particular guidelines that you would live by.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm very picky. I'm very picky.
Understood.
That too, because I got OnlyFans, but I'm picky on a lot.
No, understood. And then someone says, you don't necessarily have to explain what murder is to show that they shouldn't do that. I can explain sexuality to kids without watching porn.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to have to chime in on that. Let me explain something to you. The problem why we have unplanned pregnancy and we have an explosion of children and teenagers that have diseases and a lot of kids is because they don't know what sex is.
Well, they don't know what the family structure in general is.
Period.
The whole lack of intimacy.
But most kids don't even know what sex is until it's explained to them. And a lot of times parents drop the ball because they let the world show them, number one, and or they're afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. This might be a little bit personal, Ja. But when did you learn about sex? And did you learn from your parents? Did you learn from school? Did you know what I'm saying? Because you mentioned that it was girls that told you about your appendage, and that's how you knew you had something going on. But how did you learn?
How did I learn? How did I learn about sex? Like, how did I learn about what sex was, like, in general?
Yeah.
But, like, all of us, I was curious. I definitely went to Pornhub. I definitely had friends, check this out, check that out. I'm like, all right, then I go up, on my own time, of what it is. But that's what I'm saying, it's different for, it's different for a lot of folks, which is why God made us do so many different things, based off of the different things we were exposed to. I got taught, the basic way that all kids, at certain ages get taught, which is by just being curious and finding it out. But now how I felt towards it, that's very different. Like, I got told what it was, or at least I got shown what it was. But the feeling that I had towards it is what led me to more information to know what I had, the feeling I had, and the feeling that I've always had. Even with so many females complimenting me, or people complimenting me based off of how my body looked, I know how my parents were, and I know that's not something that I wanted. Now, granted, my dad still didn't have me until he was 28, but I knew what I wanted at that time at a very young age. I knew that I didn't want to be out with every single female or trying to have a count of I fixing up my friend. That's not what I wanted based on how I was raised. I was just in a situation where I just wanted love. I just wanted love and support. And me being a middle child, I really felt it. So I was like, if one person could see me, I'm good. And that's how I view a relationship. I always view like that, being like that one person that can see me. And I always told myself, the world to that one person that can see me. I always, feel like I'm overlooked, overseen.
Sounds like a positive outcome on the middle child syndrome.
Yeah, and like I said, that's for every case, for everybody, it's something different. And that's why, for people that ask, well, you don't have to do it to show it. Well, everybody's situation is different, and it wasn't a choice to do it. But like anything, I've always turned negative positive. That's what my own is about, about so many messages, so many lessons, so many messages that still tie into sex. Like there's a lot just to learn and know about. Um, yeah, definitely. I'll say that'd be my.
So we have another question. Says, does how you obtained your financial freedom matter at all?
Yes, it matters because I the only thing I care about is learning. And they teach us to go work a 9 to 5, which didn't tell you take as much time away from your goals and your dreams.
Right.
They teach us to go to college and work this type of job because you'll get paid this amount of money that you don't make until about 5, 10 years later. So what I would say, as far as the financial freedom, just free part, is that you're free to do whatever you want to do. In today's society, if anything, OnlyFans is one of the biggest things that's promoting free time and free abundance. And everything else is promoting being a slave, only doing this and only doing that, and being on time frames, time slots of I can't do this because I got work today. I can't do this because I don't get off until this time. I can't do this. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can't do because of the stuff that they promote that you gotta do. And that's where I stand the biggest for OnlyFans. Like you don't have to do anything. You can do exactly. You are a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
People we say the word content creator and don't really understand that me being a content creator is worth more than me being a porn star. Porn stars literally get paid to do something. Porn stars are being told you got to be here at this time for this shoot. And this is the thing. As a content creator, I create everything. I have the camera. I have the script. I create what I want. We all are creators, to be honest. We all are creators, but we taught that we're not. So
Yeah.
slaves, to be honest.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Says, is the what exactly does your OnlyFans contract entail?
It wasn't a contract.
Well, the terms of service is what I'm assuming they're asking.
What is?
Like, what is your agreement working with the platform? It says since you wanted to bring up slavery, if you have something similar going on at all, I think they're kind of getting at it's not exactly equivalent. The two realities.
To not being free. So okay, for the person that's asked this question, how is it not equivalent being able to be in control? Oh, my fault. In the terms of service, the only thing I can remember is the fact that they get like at the time, I think it was like a 2-3% tax off of what I make. That's the biggest tick that I got. But other than that, I'm not being told what to do.
Right.
I read everything. And on top of that, how I get paid, I take out when I want to. Nobody pays me. Right. I take out when I want to take out. Anytime that I want to take out. I can create. I have a cap. I don't have a cap on what I can make. I'm not told like if you work this amount of hours in this amount of days
right.
that you make this amount of money. No, it's a 24-hour thing. I do it as many times as I want. I do it as less times as I want. But I control it.
Does it ever feel like a burden to have to supply content? Do you ever get burned out, pretty much?
So that's funny too.
Hey, Sage.
That's something I had to learn when I was still going through my gap, or when I stopped doing it based off of relationships. It did get to a point where I felt as though the fact that I treated it like a job. I treated it like a job because it was a big source of income.
Right.
Once I got to the point where instead of being fun with just how I was creating it before thinking about the money, and what I was doing and how I was doing it, that's what I would say like I lost track on. I lost track on just like my passion behind it, and I'm just like, all right, well, like, and I'm an organized, systematic type of person. So like everything's a system with me. So if I feel like something falls off, I'm like not having a panic attack, but everything go up. And that's how it was with just losing my passion for it. It was just like, oh, I should be doing this day. I should be doing this that day. But the only real thing to answer that was that I was my own person. I was my own boss. It wasn't nobody telling me like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do more of this, you gotta do that. I was doing that to myself. And then that's how I lost the passion. of doing it. That's why I felt as though I had pressure on the content, but it was all something I created. It was just pressure that I created.
Someone says you're not being told what to do unless OnlyFans shuts down. And then also says, we have a question, says, did you make $1 million on OnlyFans yet?
Once again, as I said at the very beginning, for those that didn't hear, OnlyFans is not the only thing I do. So if OnlyFans crashed today or tomorrow, I will still be perfectly fine. Because I promote other things that I do through that platform as well. And then two, have I made $1 million off of OnlyFans yet? I'm not speaking about financial.
Good for you. And Brandon Heitkamp, he added to it. He said, do you believe what you make in other markets like real estate or stocks so you can make passive income? He's like, that's where the freedom is with true passive income. Exactly what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Not just a hat rack over here. You know.
I feel like now, like I'm not shooting content, but I'm still making money off of it right now. Like that's the whole point of it. And like I said, it's just making the best possible, outcome out of your situation. I dealt the cards where I was I did do only at the time, but now I'm talking about real estate, talking about stocks, talking about index funds, people wanting on crypto. I've learned that through what I've been doing. I've used my platform as a way to reach out to the people that I need to reach out to, because now I do have a fan base. I do have something that I'm working with. And I just use that as well just to find out more information.
Yeah, that was one of the things that impressed me about you. You're very, like I talk about Antonio all the time. I'm very proud of who he is as a person.
Investments and things.
Oh yeah, so you guys definitely have a conversation coming up. Talk to us a little bit about your love for dogs. When you go to your Instagram and your Twitter, and you show a lot of affinity and love towards your rearing of dogs. You want to talk to us a little bit about that real quick?
Give me 1 second. I'll show you.
So for all you ladies and guys out there that love dogs, know that Ja is right along with you. Look at that.
This is my baby. This is Himalaya. Also, to be honest, even about this whole thing with love and sex and relationships, yeah, I'm still 23, but I got to the point where I stopped chasing it, Like I genuinely stopped chasing it, and I tried to substitute it, with something else positive. So, like I said, the only thing that I cared is the only thing I asked for, the only thing I wanted, which is love and support. And that's the only thing a dog or a pet literally provides. It's like love and support and comfort. And it taught me also, to not want to have to always feel like I need to be around a female or chase. Listen, whoever God wants my wife to be, it's gonna be a divine appointment. We're gonna meet at the right place, the right time, right situation, right hour. And that's how we're gonna meet. So for now, for me, pets just always just honestly kept me true to who I am, a loving, caring individual. And I don't have to go express that to everyone. I don't have to go show and prove that's who I am to, every single one.
Good.
You don't have to, I don't know nobody that, really fusses with your dog unless it's not very husky.
Yeah, Huskies a different breed. Huskies are definitely a different breed. Yeah.
Because she don't understand me and her,
Yeah.
It's not that awesome. Like I said, man, honestly, I love animals more than people. I literally love animals more than people. But, yeah, man, that's a lot. It's a lot. She definitely saves my life too. But, that's my standpoint.
Yeah. So what, you mentioned, your future wife or whatever. For all the listeners here, obviously you're, pretty much, I guess I got to play devil's advocate and ask you love women. That's your choice. But all your fans, you're very much appreciative of them all, right? So what kind of women or what kind of woman are you looking for? What would be, this is the juicy gossip stuff that your fans are listening to. So all these women out here listening, they want to see if they got a chance with Ja. You got a minute or two to talk about the type of woman that could fill the shoes of what you're looking for.
Type of woman Yeah, I did say I'm picky. But in general, like I said to me, um, God gonna send her first with everything that we both need. But to be honest, um, intelligence, like I'm amphibious, so I'm actually what turns me on the most is the brain, how you think, how you talk, how you carry yourself. And then of course, as a woman, your nature, loving and caring, that's just that love, important. So like you pour into me, I pour into you. That's how I view it. And I've gotten to the point where it looks, I've been prettiest, so I've been like the most ugliest men, like the most like demonized. So I stopped chasing after the looks too. But yes, I would love in a perfect world for her to be. Well, she still will be a tender. She'll still be a goddess and still be, nothing but beauty and light to me. But honestly, yeah, those are all the components I ask for. But I'm picky, and that don't even sound picky, but that's kind of hard in this world.
It's a standard.
All right, so you ladies out there, if y'all see Ja out, you better come up in him and talk about a book.
So hold on, real quick. I wanna do a quick intermission because that whoever the troll was that was
On my side, he came to your side. Did you block?
My side.
I blocked him.
And the question that they keep asking is how come? And I'm bringing this up for a reason because I really wanted to just ignore them. But they want to know why you wear fake jewelry. So before you answer, I want to let everybody know, nigga. Any jewelry you ever see me wearing, fake. Why? Because it's not a real investment. Unless maybe you buy a vintage Rolex or something of that nature that has great resale value. But most jewelry, doesn't matter how much money you spend on it, it's a waste of your fucking
resources.
Waste of all of your finances, a waste of your hard work, unless it has some sort of sentimental value to you, because maybe you just like jewelry that much.
Or was it heirloom?
But fake jewelry is not it's never something to be ashamed of. I just want everybody to understand that, especially in the black community. Your jewelry is not your fucking it's not your reputation. It's not your reality.
No, I actually I love that. I love the truth. What I'll say to that is, you just found out who I am. You asked me why, I wear fake jewelry. But I guess on social media where 9 times out of 10, all the artists and celebrities you listen to and watch and admire and look up to,
they rent jewelry.
They wear fake jewelry.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a difference too. That's what I just mean about just intelligence wise and just knowing things. Your richest people in the world. Your richest people in the world. So if we're going to talk about money and fake things and real things, your richest people in the world don't rock jewelry. They don't rock anything that's name brand. They wear regular light tees. They wear Fruit Loops. They wear any basic Old Navy, Target. They rocking that, and they got more than what you could possibly ever think and imagine about. But that right there would show you that just where you at. Like jewelry is not the end all be all. We're talking about a whole lot in this conversation.
Reference your billionaires of the world.
So I
just saying. Yeah, they're still going anyway. Fuck that person. So we're getting pretty close here. We got about 10 minutes. So in the last 10 minutes, it's okay with you.
Yeah.
So I want to do two things. I got the main question, and then we just want to let you kind of give your whatever your closing thoughts are, or maybe even advice or whatever it is that you want to offer. Just based on the amalgamation of the entire conversation that we had here tonight. All right. So that's in the next 10 minutes. So or 12 minutes rather. So what kind of legacy do you tend on leaving through OnlyFans? Do you think that it impacts your legacy, or the integrity of your legacy rather?
Honestly, my legacy is built off of getting as many people as I can out of their root shop through OnlyFans. It's so much spiritual thing I want to say right now. But yeah, because if we would stop sexualizing so much, we would be able to be open to so much more, be able to see so much more in the beauty of life. We'll be starting with the very thing that we make the most ashamed. We can start with that and just getting people to have a different perspective on it. And then broadcasting like a spotlight on that new perspective, positive perspective. I feel like to me that would be a shift to a lot what's going on in this world, even down to the sex trafficking, to the human trafficking, to the kidnaps, to the rapes. I'm tired of literally being like hearing every single female. I don't know not one female that I've spoken to my entire life that has not been raped. You know, starting to hear this, I feel like this can affect so much, honestly. And you know, I feel honored, to be honest, to be one of the ones that go into where it's the dirtiest and it's the muddiest field and make change, because everybody else wants to, you know, do things on the outside, play things safe, and you know that's not how you make real impact in this world by playing things safe. And I know that me shining my light only gives others the audacity and the freeness to shine light and support them as well. So honestly, yeah, that's where I stand with my legacy for us, you know.
Absolutely.
Got a shout out from Brandon Heitkamp. He said, happy belated birthday. And then he also said, do you have, I think he was saying it to you as well. So both of y'all share the same birthday month. But he also said, do you have any King Charles Spaniels you need to offload? He was talking to you. Any King Charles Spaniels? I don't know anything about that breed of dog. But if you know, Brandon, you can always hit Jai up. Jai, we're going to get you to...
Shout out your socials.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out your socials. First off, man, I got to say again, you and I, man, we've had so many long conversations, brother. I am honored that you, you know, because we've been looking to get other people on the platform from OnlyFans. We wanted a guy and girl combo, but, you know, we had you. And unless there's a woman out there that's interested in calling in for Thursday, they just seem to be a little bit more apprehensive. I mean, I got a couple of male friends that I know that would jump in, but I had you first. We talked about it last year before I even started the show. So you here, you making it happen. I just want to say personally, shout out to you, because a lot of people don't understand that what your work that you're doing really has a strong purpose. You're blessing a lot of lonely women out there, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. Somebody got to do it, man. And not every woman has a boyfriend, or not every woman is married. A lot of you ladies, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but you know what? Happy Valentine's to you. If you ain't got nobody, I'm your Valentine tonight, and Ja will step in and be your Valentine as well. So, man, you know, you continue to inspire me as your friend and as somebody who we've had very deep, profound conversations, man, and the light of the Spirit shines through you. Yeah, man. Please give us all of your socials several times, so that way your fans who are listening will have them down, and anybody new that may find you to be very intriguing, because I think you've changed the minds of people. Yeah, I think you've changed the minds of some people, man, because, you know, people think that it's kind of like bodybuilders. You know, people think bodybuilders are dumb as hell, right? And they think, okay, this guy's just doing this because he's got a big dick, okay? Right. And it's like, no, he's got a purpose behind what he does. You know what I'm saying?
A gym membership and a book.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, he gets stacks of books, man. He'll go and like he'll be so happy, and I'm just like, man, I'll just double tap on it. It'll be a stack of, you know, paperbacks of smart shit, not just you know. But go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Please start.
I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, how can people get in touch with you? How can they sign up? How can, you know, all of your you know?
You can follow my Twitter right now. I'll say that's one of my biggest platforms. That's I 3 I's, the letter M, and then my first name, Jamir. My Instagram, same thing, just with 2 R's. And right now, those are the 2, you know, most influential platforms I want to be reached at right now.
All right.
On Instagram, you got, it's 2 R's at the end?
Yeah, my Instagram is 2 R's.
All right, drop the OnlyFans. You can't play with that. That's your money. Go ahead, drop the call sign on it. How do they find you on OnlyFans?
Say that again?
How do they find you on OnlyFans?
My OnlyFans, I believe it's the same one. They changed that at Omar's. My OnlyFans is, one second, guys. So my at tag on OnlyFans is actually the same as my Twitter. It's at I 3 I's JAMIR, same app.
Good for you. Good for you. All right. Yeah, there's a lot that you did in the beginning that I didn't do. I wish I'd have been able to do it. He straightened me out, though, to get all the CMCT stuff together, man, because I was jacked up. I was change your mind, change your thinking, all written out. He's like, hey, man, you're going to have to shorten this. But, yeah, man, hopefully you enjoyed being on the show. We'll definitely have you back down in, yeah, because we have a lot of topics.
Yeah, for a different topic, man. You definitely deserve the opportunity to show your range. As opposed to what it is that people may be,
no pun intended,
inhibited by right
now. So hopefully you got everything you wanted for your birthday, man. And yeah, man, I love you, brother. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to accomplish. What's that? What'd you say? What'd you say? We missed it.
I said I definitely appreciate you, both of you guys, for this. That's all I wanted, to be honest, just getting people to see different, perspectives.
Yeah, and be on the lookout, guys. I mean, Ja's he's an actor in his own right, man. And I'm telling you guys, when you see what he's got planned, the things that he's looking to do, and he breaks out, man, stable of actors. You know what I mean? So he's talented.
Absolutely.
All right. That's it.
That's the
that's the troll. So we had a troll throughout the show. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a chick that's going by somebody's name.
Send you a postcard. Who knows? Yeah,
Well, on my end, I totally decimated that person. Oliver, Antonio. We don't mind controversy, man. That's the kind of thing that we're very big on the community, but we don't mind somebody asking a stupid question. The thing is, if you asking 5 stupid questions,
yeah, obviously there's an agenda.
Yeah, we know there's an agenda, so we gotta, I'm pretty sure they are. So it's all good. But anyway, Ja, hey, man, you have an amazing night.
Absolutely.
Don't know if you got a Valentine, brother, but have a good time with whatever you got planned. Thank you for being on our show.
Man, anytime. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night, too.
All right, brother. All right.
Good night.
All right, guys. Brandon said, if you got haters, you're doing something right. Well, Brandon, you already know. We know that. We've dealt with that before, Brandon. So, wow. What a show. Yeah. What a show. Listen, if you're listening and you know a female, we're looking for a female to be on OnlyFans. I mean, not to be on OnlyFans. to be on
OnlyFans.
Hopefully, between here and Wednesday, Brandon, you got plenty? Okay, so you got plenty of haters. No, we're looking for a female to to come in and be on our show for Thursday night. Thursday night is going to be a very interesting show because we will be talking and extending on this topic. But also, I want to get into full detail, something special, and Antonio and I are going to talk more about it. But I want to get into full detail about this thing that Idris Elba was talking about recently. I don't know if you guys heard anything about it. Lady Muse, maybe you heard about it. But Idris Elba is in the news, and I'm going to go into full detail about that because it's Black History Month. And Idris Elba said that he wants to be known as a man, not just as a black man. And so I want to get it. I mean, the boards have been going crazy on Instagram and Facebook. I've been back and forth with some people, but I want to definitely use the platform to talk about that. And I knew Antonio.
Ambiguity is bull. bullshit.
We'll have something to say about it.
We'll definitely talk about it.
So we'll definitely talk about that. But if you know of a female who, it doesn't even have to be OnlyFans. She could be, into exotic dancing and or prostitution. Hell, we'll go that far. Please have them hit us up so we can schedule them for this Thursday night show, and we will continue our topic then.
Classy prostitutes, aka escorts.
Sure.
Whatever.
Sure.
Renegades.
Sure. Yeah, because I think Ja really covered like the only I think people.
It's definitely gonna be different for men and women.
Yeah.
So,
that's true. That's very true. That's very true.
Completely different.
I agree.
So
I
that'll
agree.
be interesting.
I agree. All
I
right.
know some, some HOEs. You feel me? Go ahead.
HO3?
HOEs.
Yeah. For what is 304s? Yeah, we said 304s. Brandon said he gonna reach out to a couple he knows. So
hey, thanks.
Thank you, Brandon. Oh yeah, and big shout out to our supporters, Joe Moten, if you're watching, and Claudia. Big shout out to you as well. Later Muse out day one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and anybody else who's been watching us from
Instagram and Facebook and YouTube don't tell us exactly, how many people who it don't tell us who or none of that shit. So anybody we ever miss, just know that we definitely appreciate your viewership.
Definitely. Let us know if we're doing a shitty job too. Because that helps sometimes to know exactly what we need to work on. But very, 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 very grateful and thankful that you guys tuned in tonight. And, if you're not approved, go ahead and follow Ja. If that's your thing, go for it. I'm pretty sure he didn't mention this, but his what is it called? The silhouette challenge. He had the #1 silhouette challenge. He had the number. How is it that he just mentioned that women started the silhouette challenge, but he ended up having the #1 silhouette challenge? That's crazy. So, yeah,
Either way, we're past time. Y'all niggas have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. See you on Thursday.
No doubt. Love you all. Have a great Valentine's for you people who celebrate that shit.
We need to write down and remember the hashtag Valentine's Day.
For you guys who are broke, man, I went into
Walgreens or something?
Nah, we call it Ralph's in California, but here in Georgia, what is it? It's
Ralph's is the fucking store I was trying to think
Yeah.
of earlier. I was talking to somebody.
yeah, what they call it here?
It's not Kroger.
Yeah, Kroger. Kroger owns Ralph's.
The same one?
Yeah, they own them.
Do they have the
Yeah,
Kroger brand?
yeah. Kroger owns Ralph's.
I know it's Smith's, Kroger,
Yeah.
Fred Meyer.
Yeah. Kroger owns Ralph's. So I go in the, I was talking to the guy at the automatic cashier. He was like, man, this older man, he was like, it don't make no goddamn sense. He had been there all day. He was like, it didn't make,
They're acting crazy over
Valentine's, man.
serious.
They said it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Attention is definitely a multi-billion-dollar fucking. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Unreal.
I'm sure.
Unreal.
It's probably honestly an economy of its own. Attention.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Anyway, for the third time, y'all niggas have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
See you on Thursday. Thank you, everybody. We greatly appreciate it.
No doubt.
God damn it.
Hey, look at that. Antonio wore red for y'all for Valentine's Day.
That's what it was. Everybody have a good night. Muscles on I stay calm and fat. I've been on the grind so long, hoes can never call me. They can please keep it short.
For the hashtag?
All the rap, I'm your mechanic.
Oh, we can go back and do it.